Well, all right, if you'd like to get yourselves into position for practice, I've got a few words to say at the beginning. Oh, there is just one small thing about the recordings. For some reason, people are getting ads on the videos, which is pretty intolerable. So I suggest you use the SoundCloud recordings. There, you just get the audio, which is probably all you need, really. And we'll try to do something about the video if you're getting that problem. Right, so use the SoundCloud. Okay, this morning we've been going for a while, so I think it's really time that we went through the Anapanasati sequence in a bit more detail, and I'll go through each of the four sections, the four tetrads of the practice. I think I'll try and do one tetrad each week for the next few weeks. It'll be the next 4 weeks, won't it? It might not be as simple as that, but let's start. The 16 stages of the Anapanasati begins with this. Bhikkhus. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it is of great fruit and benefit. Well, we know this. And how? Here, O Bhikkhu, gone to the forest, or to the root of a tree, or to an empty hut, or some such place, sits down, having folded their legs crosswise, or however that might be, set their body erect, or however that may be, and established mindfulness in front of them. Ever mindful, they breathe out. Sorry, no, I read it wrong. Ever mindful, they breathe in. Breathe in first. Ever mindful, they breathe out. And that's a general instruction. So you need to go to a place where you can meditate. So luckily, you're already in the place where you can meditate. You need to sit down. I think there are variants on that, but probably seated is the best, if you can do that. Sitting upright and mindful. So aware, expecting to stay aware of whatever happens. And then you just carry on, and what you're watching is the breath coming in and going out. So in the first stage it says, breathing in long. They understand, I breathe in long. Or breathing out long. They understand, I breathe out long. And the second one is breathing in short. They understand, I breathe in, or I breathe out short. And these first two stages, they really go together. They're really about connecting with the breath. It's not really about how long or short the breath is. It's really about simply being with the breath enough to know that it's there. And I often interpret this as the attention span. The attention span that we have of our breath, especially at the beginning of the practice, is pretty short. It might even be completely momentary because we're so distracted by something else, the thoughts we sat down with. So in the practice, you just observe that as you stay with the breath, your ability to stay with the sensation of the breath, and the richness of that just improves. So you become more aware of, as it were, how long the breath is. You become more aware of the quality of it, the actual quality of it, whether it's long or short. And another part of this little stage also is, it really doesn't matter what the quality of the breath is like. You just experience it as it is. You're not trying to breathe well. You're not trying to breathe in a special yogic way. You're just simply observing the breaths that actually arise. So the whole practice, in fact, is trying to ride on that naturalness in the whole experience of breath, body, and mind. So that's the first two instructions. Breathing in, breathing out. They understand that the breath is long or the breath is short. They understand that. In other words, you connect with that. You get to know that, as it were. And then the next two instructions are, I shall breathe in and breathe out, experiencing the whole body of the breath. This is the translation that I have. Experiencing the whole body of the breath. So it's as though you experience the whole breath. And this can also be interpreted to mean you experience the breath throughout the body, throughout the whole body. The physical body that you're sitting with is pervaded by the breath. And I like that interpretation. And all of this is very subject to interpretation. All the books you read, and this is a really good one to read, the one by Analio. All the commentaries on the mindfulness of breathing, they're all often very different. They interpret things in very different ways. So I like to interpret that third instruction as experiencing the breath throughout the body. Then the fourth instruction, the fourth of the four we're looking at this morning. I shall breathe in and breathe out, tranquilizing the bodily formation. That's the body, if you like, as that which conditions the breath and is conditioned by the breath. So it's tranquilizing. So the experience of the breath is having an effect on the body, and I think it not only tranquilizes the body. The growing awareness and the growing absorption in the breath and the growing interest in the breath has a tranquilizing effect, because the breath is generally calming. It's calming down, but it's also calming the body. It's calming your experience. So in the fourth stage, you notice that. You start to notice that. All these changes are quite subtle. So first of all, in a way, taking hold of the breath and noticing its quality, staying with it. And then secondly, experiencing the breath throughout the body, and then the experience of coming more closely into contact with the breath, having a tranquilizing effect on the body, and noticing that. So those are the first four, and we'll do the whole practice, but I'm going to concentrate on those first four this morning. So let's start. So simply sitting and making that decision to stay with your experience. To stay mindful and attentive to the current experience. So the mind may well go here and there, but if you have that basic commitment to the practice, then gradually it will become easier to keep your promise to the practice. So let your attention rest in the body. So feel the body, feel what you're sitting on, and feel the pressure down from the two sitting bones in the pelvis, and feel the kind of springing up of the spine, the extension of the spine up, supporting the skull, and the two shoulder blades, let them softly relax back, and place your hands so that you can maintain that openness in the heart area. And then at the crown of the head, feel as though someone had taken a single hair and just pulled it up very, very gently, just to give a sense of lift right at the top there. And one effect of that lift is to bring the jaw in very slightly, so that there's a very, very gentle constriction of the throat. Almost don't notice it. And have the eyes closed, I'd suggest. Now the body should feel nice and centered, or beginning to be so. And feel the whole core of the body, from the crown right through the throat, the heart, the belly, and right down to the perineum and the sitting bones. So I just give these instructions to help us set up mindfulness in the body And you also know how you are, just feeling the mood, feeling whatever feelings and thoughts are around. And I'll be speaking less and less as we go on. So maybe now is a time to start noticing the breath, just how each breath is. And you're experiencing, I think, a kind of texture of sensation. So allow your attention to be taken by the texture of the breath. Letting each breath come just as it wants to. They can be quite different each time. And you know, if it's not an easy experience, if it's a bit awkward, that's actually okay. Just experience it as it is. It's bound to change a bit. Sooner or later, the mind becomes more accustomed to it, more familiar with it. And don't be concerned about whether this is working or not. Just give it time. See it as a process that's going to take place over quite a period of time. So really take it easy and just stay with the experience. And that's it. There's nothing else to do. And at a certain point, it might be nice, might be helpful to feel the breath everywhere in the body. If that makes sense, do that. As though the breath were literally pervading the whole body. It's almost as though the experience of the breath is identified with the experience of the body. And as you do this, be truthful to the experience. So really make sure it's the actual experience of the breath in each microsecond, in each moment, the actual experience. And don't allow it to become some kind of fantasy relaxation thing. So as you do this, you should find more and more parts of the body relaxing in sympathy, as it were, with the breath, like the eyes and the ears and the face and other parts of the body. So maybe at this point you can feel a bit the way the body, the experience of the body is being made tranquil through the mindfulness of the breath. Maybe it's the breath itself that's bringing tranquility and peace throughout the whole body. And all of these different stages of practice, you don't really move on from them. You just add a bit more to the existing experience, because we're doing all four of those stages all at once now. As the familiarity and closeness with the breath. There's the sense of the breath pervading the whole body in some way. And there's the sense that the body is made peaceful and tranquil. So from here, just allowing yourself to enjoy it as a gentle enjoyment. Of the peace, a relative peace. And just appreciating that a practice like this can make us feel happy. It's the joy of practice. and still staying breath by breath with the sensations as you experience them. So just a few more minutes. Be very patient and stay with the breath. All right. Well, I hope that's been helpful. I certainly enjoy it. It's lovely to sit with you all. And I hope it's useful during the next week. Do come along on Thursday afternoon and we'll do some Brahma Vihara practice. All right. Thank you.